Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another do's and don'ts video, and today we're going to be talking about concealers. So the first thing you want to keep in mind is whenever you're using a concealer to brighten up your under eye area or to highlight the center of your face, you want to go in with a concealer that is about 2 to 3 shades lighter than your skin tone because you really want to highlight those areas. But in case you're using a concealer to cover up blemishes or spots, then you want to go in with a concealer that actually matches your skin tone or the tone of your foundation, because that way the concealer will blend in with the rest of your skin. Next up, I would recommend using a primer underneath your concealer, and this one I'm using is by Benefit. It's a concealer primer, but in case you don't have a concealer primer, then you can also go ahead and use an eyeshadow primer underneath your concealer, and doing this prevents the concealer from creasing and it also makes the concealer a lot more long lasting. Now, while using a concealer to highlight the under eye area, you do not want to go in a half moon shape because that does not look very natural, and at the same time it gives you that raccoony looking eyes. But instead you want to go ahead in an inverted triangle shape, as this highlights the entire under eye area. It also lifts up the face and it looks a lot more natural. So next up, whenever you're blending your concealer, don't ever go in sweeping or wiping motions like this because it could move your concealer around. Instead, you want your concealer to stay in place and cover up unevenness. So you want to go ahead in patting motions like so. The same rule applies to whatever tool you're using to blend out your concealer, be it a brush or a sponge. And you could also totally use your fingers to blend out your concealer, but don't ever use any other fingers other than your ring finger, because the ring finger is supposed to be the gentlest finger which has the least amount of pressure in it. So always make sure to use only your ring finger for sensitive areas, especially around your eyes. Next, it's extremely essential to set the concealer in place with a powder. Now, most of the times when we are done blending the rest of our face, the under eye area has already started creasing, and one mistake we often make is to go ahead directly and set the under eye area with some powder without checking for those creases or fine lines underneath the eyes. And doing that means setting the line in place, so that crease is going to be there the entire day. So it's always a good idea to double check if there are any creases or fine lines and to blend it out before actually going ahead and setting it with powder. So another thing to keep in mind while setting your concealer with some powder is to never use sweeping or wiping motions. Just use patting motions, or you can also use rolling motions in case you have a round brush like me, because you really want the concealer to stay in place and you want to set the concealer in place. So don't move the concealer around by using sweeping motions. Now, moving on with more serious stuff, for those of you who have dark circles under your eyes or redness around your face, and also any other pigments or unevenness around your skin, don't ever go ahead and try to conceal them directly by using a concealer, because this could actually make them look a lot more ashy and it could give you a grey cast, and that's not a very good look. But instead, what you want to do is use correctors. So if you have any dark circles or any pigments on your face that has a darker color and that has kind of blue or purple undertones to it, then always go ahead and use a peach or an orange corrector over the pigment first. And if you have redness around your face, then use a green corrector over the red areas, and you can also use the green corrector over red acne or any other marks on your face. Then go ahead and use the concealer over the corrector, and the corrector actually corrects out the skin tones, and when you apply a concealer over it, the concealer looks a lot more natural and is able to give you a fuller coverage. So those are some of my do's and don'ts of concealers. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also leave a comment down in the comment section. I would love to know your feedback. That's all for now. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!